Imagine finding a message from another world, but not any message. A farewell, a coded goodbye, sent through time and space by an alien civilization that no longer exists. Sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, right? But this can be much more real than we imagine. This discovery is not just a scientific curiosity. It can completely redefine our understanding of the cosmos and the place of humanity in it. Scientists have detected strange signs from a distant exoplanet, and they seem to be the last traces of an extinct alien civilization. These signs, captured by advanced radio telescopes, carry complex mathematical patterns and fragments of something that seems a warning. Was this message intentionally left to be found? Or is it just the residual echo of a society that succumbed to its own destination? What this message reveals can change everything we know about life in the universe, and maybe even our own future. Within these signs, there are clues about how this civilization lived, prospered, and finally fell. Did they face challenges similar to ours? Wars, climate change, or perhaps something even more catastrophic? This discovery is not just about their past. It is a frightening reflection of our present and a possible warning to the future of humanity. These signs were initially detected as cosmic noise, something that could be easily ignored as star interference. However, by analyzing the data more deeply, scientists perceived intriguing standards. They were not random, they were deliberate. Something or someone had created them with intention. The question that arises naturally is why? Why send a message to space knowing that it could never be found? Did they expect another species like us would decipher it? The idea that we are facing an alien legacy is both fascinating and frightening. If they really tried to warn us, what does this mean to us? Are we prepared to deal with the weight of this responsibility? Or will we simply ignore these signs, as we so often ignore the signs here on Earth? This message is not just a set of scientific data. It is a window for a universal story. Think about it. If an advanced alien civilization could not survive, what does that say about our own resilience? Are we able to learn from your mistakes, or are we intended to repeat them? This discovery forces us to face uncomfortable questions about our trajectory as a species. In addition, this message raises deep philosophical questions. What defines a civilization? Is it your technology, your culture, or your ability to preserve your legacy? If this alien civilization was extinguished, does its true purpose be to ensure that other species would avoid the same fate? Perhaps they have left this legacy as a way to transcend their own collective death. Get ready to dive into one of the deepest discoveries in the history of astronomy. Throughout this video, we will explore the details of this enigmatic message, decipher its meanings, and understand the impact it can have on us. We are about to face questions that can shake our understanding of the cosmos and our place in it. Stay until the end because you won't want to lose what comes next. This journey is not just about science. It is about what human being means in a vast and mysterious universe. We are explorers, dreamers, and survivors. And now more than ever, we need to decide what kind of legacy we want to leave for the future. What we know so far, the message has been encoded in radio waves and seems to contain coordinates, mathematical symbols, and something that resembles despair. These signs are not random. They were carefully built, as if their creation were an end of hope or warning. But who were these beings? What kind of civilization had technology advanced enough to send interstellar messages, but still succumb to their own destination? The initial analysis reveals that the message is composed of complex mathematical patterns, as well as space coordinates that point to a specific region of the cosmos. These coordinates led scientists to identify an exoplanet located thousands of light years from Earth. This now inhospitable planet may have been the home of this extinct civilization, but what really catches the eye is the emotion underlying the data. There is something deeply human or universally intelligent in the way these signs were organized. It seems that they wanted to tell us something important before they disappeared forever. Are they victims of a cosmic catastrophe? Perhaps a devastating asteroid, a nearby supernova, or even the death of his own mother, star your end. Science suggests that cataclysmic cosmic events can exterminate entire civilizations in a matter of seconds. However, there is another even more disturbing possibility. What if they were responsible for their own destruction? Or do we make the same mistakes as they? Preliminary analysis suggests that part of the message can describe extreme climate change, exhaustion of natural resources, or even global conflicts that have climbed beyond control. It sounds frighteningly familiar, isn't it? We are facing a distorted reflection of our own challenges here on Earth. Wars through resource control, ecosystems collapsing under the weight of human activity, overcrowded cities, and a planet warming rapidly, all of which seems to echo the errors of this extinct civilization. This chapter explores the first evidence about who these beings were and how their civilization may have disappeared. The mathematical patterns found in the message suggest a highly intelligent species capable of understanding complex concepts and creating advanced technology. However, there is something disturbingly human in its history. They seem to have left clues about their last moments, fragments of art, music, or even records of their emotions. It was as if they knew that time was running out and wanted to leave a legacy or a warning. But what does this mean to us? Are we looking at a distorted reflection of our own future? By deciphering these signs, scientists begin to draw parallels between what happened to this alien civilization and the challenges we face today on Earth. For example, the message seems to describe a progressive environmental collapse, where small misconceptions have led to irreversible consequences. Are we in the same way? In addition, there is a tone of urgency in these signs. It seems that they have tried until the last moment to find a solution to their problems, but maybe it was too late. This idea is terrifying because it forces us to confront the possibility that we are also running against time. This discovery is not just scientific, it is an opportunity for reflection. If this alien civilization was unable to avoid its destiny, what does that say about our own resilience? Are we able to learn from your mistakes, or are we intended to repeat them? In the next chapter, we will explore the content of this enigmatic message more deeply and try to understand what it really wants to tell us. Keep watching because this journey is just beginning. Within the message, there is information about advanced technology, clean energy, and even ways to avoid our own extinction. These fragments of alien knowledge seem to be more than simple scientific records. They are a window to the future we could have if we choose to follow a different path. But why would they send us this? Is it a warning, a farewell gift, or an attempt to preserve your memory? Detailed signs analysis reveals something extraordinary, clear instructions on how to develop technologies that could revolutionize our world. For example, there are descriptions of clean energy systems that use inexhaustible sources, such as sustainable nuclear fusion or even unknown methods for us. There are also references to processes that could stabilize planetary ecosystems, reversing large-scale environmental damage. These advances would not only guarantee our survival, but would also dramatically improve our quality of life. But why would they share it with us? Perhaps it is more than generosity. It can be an act of cosmic responsibility, a way of saying, here is what we learned too late. They do not make the same mistakes. Or perhaps it is an attempt to preserve your identity, to transform your tragedy into something significant for other species. After all, what is a civilization but what it leaves behind? Here, let's explore how these lessons can impact humanity. The technology described in the message includes concepts that we are still trying to master, such as inexhaustible sources of clean energy, methods for stabilizing planetary ecosystems, and even forms of peaceful coexistence on a global scale. If we apply this knowledge, we could avoid the fatal errors that led to the collapse of this alien civilization. But will we learn in time? Or will we ignore these warnings, as we have so often done with the signs here on Earth? This message is a call to action, a unique opportunity to reevaluate our priorities as a species. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about our technological progress and our impact on the planet. Are we advancing toward a sustainable future, or we keep repeating the same self-destructive standards? In addition, the alien legacy challenges us to think about of inheritance we want to leave for the future. If another civilization one day finds our messages, what will they say about us? Will we have been a kind that fought to protect your world, or one that succumbed to your own mistakes? This reflection goes beyond science. It touches deep ethical and philosophical questions. But there is another intriguing dimension in this message. She suggests that technological progress alone is not enough to ensure the survival of a civilization. It takes something else: wisdom, collaboration, and a long-term vision. These aliens had advanced technology, but failed to apply it responsibly. This teaches us that the key to survival is not only in the tools we create, but how we use them. In the next chapter, we will analyze the ethical and philosophical implications of using this alien knowledge. Are we ready to deal with the weight of a cosmic heritage? Keep watching, because this story is about to get even more complex. By deciphering more of the message, scientists begin to understand what happened to them. It seems that its destruction was caused by something frighteningly familiar: wars, overpopulation, or climate change. These fragments reveal a devastating scenario: an advanced civilization, but unable to resolve their own internal conflicts and preserve their planet. They had technology to reach the stars, but could not avoid their self-destruction. Detailed analysis suggests that the signs contain records of catastrophic events that occurred in waterfall. For example, there are clear evidence of extreme climate change, possibly caused by the irresponsible use of natural resources. The atmosphere of his planet seems to have become toxic, leading to the collapse of ecosystems and the mass extinction of species. In addition, there are references to global conflicts, perhaps nuclear or biological wars, that have destroyed much of their infrastructure and society. Are we walking to the same destination? When we look at the patterns described in the message, it is impossible not to see parallels with our own reality. Wars through resource control, ecosystems collapsing under the weight of human activity, overcrowded cities and a planet warming rapidly, all of which seems to echo the errors of this extinct alien civilization. The difference is that we now have a warning, but will we hear? This chapter plunges into the theories of the tragic end of this species and what we can learn from their mistakes. According to the analysis of the signs, there is evidence that its crisis began with minor choices, decisions made by previous generations that have climbed to an irreversible point. Perhaps they have underestimated the impact of their actions, or perhaps prioritized immediate gain instead of collective well-being. In the end, what was left was an inhospitable planet, a lost legacy, and this message as a last scream for understanding. This story is a powerful reminder that even with all our progress, we are fragile in the face of the forces that shape our world. But it's also an opportunity, a chance to change the course before it's too late. Every detail of this message forces us to face our own choices and question if we are prepared to face the consequences of our actions. What shocks most is how similar we are to them. Despite biological and cultural differences, we share universal challenges: the struggle for power, the unbridled exploration of resources, and the difficulty of seeing the future beyond the present. This alien civilization had everything it needed to prosper: technology, knowledge, resources, but failed to apply these tools in a sustainable way. This makes us think, will we be able to do better? In addition, the message suggests that the collapse was not instantaneous. It was a gradual process, where small warning signs were ignored until it was too late. This sounds alarmingly familiar, as we often do the same here on Earth. We are seeing clear signs of environmental, social, and political crises, but we often hesitate to act. Are we intended to repeat the same steps, or can we use this knowledge to change our destination? In addition to warnings, the message contains fragments that look like poetry, music, or even data transmitted in the form of data. Thousands of these elements are not just technical information. They carry something much deeper, the essence of what it means to be a civilization. It is as if, in their final moments, they wanted to leave more than a warning. They wanted to share who they were, their stories, their struggles, and their dreams. Detailed analysis of these fragments reveals patterns that suggest forms of alien art. There are sequences that seem to represent musical rhythms, perhaps used in celebrations or rituals. Other excerpts resemble codified poetry, with repetitive urination that can symbolize collective emotions such as hope, sadness, or even gratitude. It is as if they wanted to say, "We exist, we feel, we dream." Were they trying to share their culture, their hopes and fears? When we analyze these emotional fragments, we see something universally human, or rather, universally intelligent. They seem to express sadness for what they lost, but also gratitude for existing. There are traces of beauty and creativity, as if they were saying, "Don't let the same happen to you." Perhaps these coded messages were an attempt to preserve their identity, to transform their tragedy into something significant to other species. This chapter explores the emotional part of the message and what it reveals about the nature of these beings. By deciphering this data, scientists realize standards that suggest rituals, celebrations, and even alien art forms. This shows us that, despite biological and cultural differences, they shared something fundamental to us: the desire to create, connect, and transcend. But there is also a melancholy tone, a feeling that they knew their time was running out and wanted to be remembered. This emotional dimension of the message forces us to think, are we prepared to deal with the weight of being the receivers of this legacy? In the end, these fragments show us that they were not so different from us. They had dreams, fears, and aspirations. They were beings who, like us, sought meaning in the vastness of the cosmos. But what does this mean to us? Receiving this message is a huge responsibility. It challenges us to reflect on our own culture, our priorities, and the legacy we want to leave for the future. If another civilization one day finds our messages, what will they say about us? We have been a species that valued creativity, collaboration, and compassion, or will we have been a species that succumbed to chaos and destruction? Moreover, these emotional fragments connect us to something larger than ourselves. They remind us that in the vast cosmos, we are not alone in our search for meaning. We are part of a universal web of intelligences, each fighting to understand its existence and leave its mark in the universe. If this alien civilization was extinguished, what is the guarantee that we will not go the same way? This question echoes deeply in our minds. They had advanced technology, scientific knowledge, and perhaps even an understanding of the cosmos that surpassed ours. But in the end, this was not enough to save them. So what makes us think we are different? This chapter reflects on the parallels between us and them, wondering if we are prepared to avoid the same fatal errors. When we look at our planet, we see worrying signs: uncontrolled climate change, resource conflicts, extreme pollution, and increasingly divided humanity. These problems may seem distant or manageable now, but the history of this alien civilization serves as a frightening reminder of how fast things can get out of control. Are we destined to repeat your steps, or can we use this message as a chance to change our course? The alien message is clear in one aspect: technological progress alone does not guarantee survival. They had capabilities that we still considered futuristic, but failed to apply them responsibly. This forces us to ask, are we really learning from our own mistakes? Are we investing in sustainable solutions, or just pushing problems for next generations? Is the message a warning or a redemption opportunity? Maybe she's both. A clear warning of the dangers of ignoring collapse signs, but also a unique opportunity to learn from the past of another species before it's too late. The choice is in our hands. We can continue to follow the same destructive path, or we can use this knowledge to build a more sustainable, balanced, and conscious future. This reflection goes beyond science. It is a philosophical and ethical issue. Are we able to evolve as a species, not only technologically, but also in our mindset and values? Are we ready to embrace profound changes in our way of living, even if this requires sacrifices in the present? Or will we continue to prioritize immediate interests over the future? The legacy of this alien civilization challenges us to rethink our relationship with the planet and each other. If we want to avoid the same fate, we need to act now. Each choice matters, from global policies to individual decisions. We need to ask ourselves, what are we doing today to ensure that tomorrow is better? Also, this message invites us to think about the kind of inheritance that once lets you leave. If another civilization finds our signs in the future, what will they say about us? Will we have been a kind that fought to protect your world, or one that succumbed to your own mistakes? This idea is both humiliating and inspiring, because it reminds us that the future is not something that simply happens. It is shaped by the choices we make today. How do we want to be remembered in the great mosaic of the universe? When we look at the vast cosmos, we realize that our existence is both insignificant and extraordinary. We are small points in an infinite universe, but we are able to create, dream, and transform. What we decide to do with this potential will define whether we will be remembered as a species that fought to protect your world, or as one that succumbed to your own mistakes. The alien message we explore throughout this video is not just a warning, it is an invitation to rethink our role in the universe. They showed us that even with advanced technology, it is possible to fail to preserve what really matters. Now it is up to us to decide what our contribution to the future will be. Will we create a heritage of harmony, innovation, and wisdom? Or will we leave a trail of destruction and regret? Will our choices today guarantee a future where humanity is celebrated or lamented? Every decision we make, from how we treat our planet to how we relate to each other, will echo for generations. Imagine for a moment that another civilization finds our signs in the distant future. What will they find out about us? Summer art, music, and dreams that transcend time? Or will you find registrations of wars, destruction, and environmental collapse? This reflection goes beyond practical issues. It touches the heart of what it means to be human. We are a kind capable of great deeds and great flaws, but we are also resilient, creative, and full of hope. We have the power to change our destiny, to learn from the mistakes of the past, both ours and those of this extinct alien civilization, and to build something extraordinary. Also, this journey reminds us that we are not alone in the universe, neither in our struggles nor in our dreams. Other intelligences, such as the one that sent us this message, may have faced similar challenges to ours. And perhaps, just like them, we have a chance to leave something significant for the future. In the end, it all comes down to a simple but powerful question. What message do we want to send to the cosmos? Is it a message of hope, progress, and unity? Or is it a message of warning, loss, and regret? The choice is in our hands. Thank you for embarking on this cosmic journey with us, that this is just the beginning of a new way of thinking about our place in the universe. Until the next exploration.